Hi and welcome to a Brush Monkeys paint tutorial for Gale Force 9's Aliens, another glorious day in the Corps. Today we'll be painting the Xenomorphs. So first up, Model Air, light grey-green 71.044. After putting the models together, I've primed them black using Army Painter matte black spray. I'm putting this through the airbrush just because it's quicker and easier than having to paint it on with a standard hairy brush, but obviously you can get the same results using a hairy brush. This was just for speed's sake more than anything. So using the airbrush, just make sure I get a good coat down all over the model. Don't have to be too controlled with this, we can clean up any mistakes or any overspray later on. Also, don't want to go too heavy because we can add a second coat, which I'm about to do now. This will give you a nice consistency. Don't try going too thick in one go. Nice thin coats, a couple of those, and you get some good coverage. Next up is a liberal coat of Citadel Contrast Black Templar. This you can slap all over the model, covering the entire thing. Again, don't worry about any overspill. We can go back later on and fix that. So once the contrast is dry, we're putting a dry brush of German Field Grey of Vallejo Model Colour 70.830. Now with this you only want to put on a very light dusting all over it. For those that haven't dry brushed before, nice big soft brush, get some paint on your brush, wipe off the excess onto a paper towel or a bit of toilet tissue, something like that, and then just very, very gently brush over the top of the entire model. See now the difference between one that has just got the contrast on it and one that's been dry brushed. Next up is Abaddon Black for the eye section of the alien, the little front piece of the dome that we assume aliens see through. Nice fine brush and a bit of control, and you're just filling in that little front area that's smooth. Next up is Lead Belcher. We're going to use this to do all of the teeth on the Xenomorph. Now that the Abaddon Black on the dome is completely dry, we can add some Vallejo satin varnish. Now, Citadel Iron Warriors, we're going to add this to the base. So this is where we can make sure any overspill or overspray from earlier steps can be covered up. With this, I'm not trying to paint the entire base, so I'm not trying to get paint inside all the little holes on the grating. I'm just pushing the paint around on the surface so it gives it a nice metallic finish. Just be careful not to get paint onto the feet of the model, and just work it around the base, just using the side of the brush. Next up, Nuln Oil, a Citadel shade. This is basically like a black wash. We're going to put this across the whole of the base, or the grating. That'll sit in the recesses and dull the whole thing down. It'll also take the metallic sheen off all the surface and give it a nice dull, used look. Finally, back with the Abaddon Black. This we're just going to put around the edge of the base. There's a nice trim that goes around the top edge of the base, which really sets the model off. This will just clean it up and give it a nice finish on the tabletop. You do need to be careful with this stage, just to make sure you don't get any black on the grating of the base, just around the lip, around the outside. And there we have it, your own alien brood. 16 Xenomorphs, took about an hour to paint all of them, not including drying times of course. Just make sure with all these steps that you do let the paint thoroughly dry. I hope you've enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, this has been the Brush Monkey.